Hi children, welcome back to the online class of Sri Gokulam Public School Guruvayur. Hope you all are fine and safe. Children, in our last class, we have discussed about how AI is used to achieve sustainable development goals. Children, did you go through the 17 goals in your textbook? Okay. And we have also discussed about the possibilities of AI in various fields by discussing some real life examples. Okay, children, today we can discuss about the ever changing focus of AI research. And it is discussed through various phases. The first phase of AI research, which use general problem solving approach, in which the researchers used program code and mathematical models to solve the problems. But children, this approach did not continue. And then the second phase, which focused on reducing the search space to make it better by finding better ways of representing data. And the third phase, which focused on developing IKBS. So what is that IKBS? Yes, intelligent knowledge based systems, which is also known as expert systems, which worked on data. But the thing is that it was time consuming and it needed regular updation. So then came the further phase, which involves developing systems that can learn and it would not need regular updation. In this phase, they use the approach known as big data, which involves capturing data from the web, and it also includes the development of techniques like neural networks and genetic algorithms for developing machine learning. So, that is about different phases. The next topic is types of AI careers. So it is divided into two types. The first one is job requiring advanced training and education. And the next one is jobs in which entry requirements are comparatively low. So the first one includes jobs related to research development and deployment, whereas in the second one, that is entry requirements are comparatively low, it is related to operations of the AI systems. So let us discuss about some AI related careers here. So the machine learning engineer, who is responsible for developing such AI projects. So if you want to become a machine learning engineer, yes, you should possess different programming languages, and also you need strong mathematical skills. And then the data scientist, who is responsible for collecting and analyzing data. So if you want to become a data scientist, you need knowledge of big data platforms, then strong analytical and communication skills. So the next one is business intelligence developer. And if you want to become a business intelligence developer who is responsible for analyzing data, so you need strong technical and analytical skills and also background in engineering, computer science or a related field, and also need experience of business and markets. Then the AI research scientists. For becoming an AI research scientist, yes, you need master or doctorate degree in computer science or related field, and also need strong background in applied mathematics. Children, I hope you understand that computer science and mathematics are two important fields that you should focus upon for building a career in AI. Children, our next topic is ethical concerns related to AI access. Children, do you remember our first class? In that, we have discussed about the AI ethics. So, what do you mean by ethics? Yes, it is the moral principles that governs the behavior or action of an individual. That means the rules which helps you to determine what is right and what is wrong. So here we are going to discuss about the ethical concerns of AI, which has two categories, that is concerns related to data management and concerns related to adoption of AI systems. So let's discuss about the first one, that is concerns related to data management. So we all know that data is one of the important domain of AI systems. So without data, these systems cannot exist. But the thing is that the collection, storing and usage of this data raises some serious privacy concerns. If we are taking the example of one of the product of Google, that is Android operating system, you all might be aware of. So if you are using these apps, Google apps, you have to provide some informations, or you have to provide permission of some informations like contact list, your location, your photos, etc. So these informations are collected to provide you some better services, but the potential risk is very high. So whatever you are providing your informations all to the apps, is it safe? The data can be misused. And the next is about bias in real world data. So what do you mean by bias? Yes, it is the tendency to lean in a certain direction, either in favor or against the particular thing. Okay, so that is showing partiality. So here it means AI systems can show partiality depend upon the data fed to them. So we all know that AI systems learn from the data fed to them. Children, like we eat food, we have to enter data to the AI systems. If we eat healthy foods, you will feel better, look better, and move better. Like that, if you are providing the AI systems with better data, that is the correct data, it will do its work better. For example, take a computer system which is trained on the data for last 200 years. It finds that successful businesses were established by men than female. So there comes the gender bias. That is, they find that specific genders are better equipped for handling certain jobs. Children, if you are using these systems for recruitment and all, what happens? Yes, it will give more preference to the males. So understanding or even detecting such biases is not easy. And this problem is known as the problem of inclusion. These all problems regarding bias in AI systems comes from the problem between facts and interpretation of facts. That is, AI systems can scan data and draw learnings from that. But the thing is that they are not equipped to understand the reason behind a particular conclusion or learning. For example, Tay. It is an experimental Twitter chatbot which is developed by Microsoft. So, what it did was it started mimicking the users who were talking to it, and it learned from what was being fed to it without interpreting the inputs. So there comes the problem of facts and their interpretation. In order to rectify these problems, we want some good AI policy. So here you can see the components of a good AI policy. And the next one is ethical concerns related to the adoption of AI systems. And the first one is job loss. So, some argue that AI systems will reduce job, whereas others argue that it will increase job. On the basis of studies conducted by some of the reputed international firms, we can conclude that some jobs like clerical, secretarial, schedulers, bookkeepers, etc., and also 20 million manufacturing jobs also will be lost by 2030. The next is about increasing inequality. That is, when we are adopting these AI systems, there is a chance of reducing the number of people required for specific jobs. So, this results in transfer of economic benefits to the companies managing AI systems, which increase the income gaps. That means only few individuals will get the economic benefits. So, that is what meant by increasing inequality. And the next is negative adoption. And it happens when AI systems are used by terrorists. So, it is used by terrorists to spread terror, or it can be used by cyber criminals to hack. And the next problem is black box problem. So, like we discussed in the case of bias and inclusion problem, AI system cannot explain the reasons behind their decision making. So, that is called black box problem. Even the creators cannot explain the reasons. Children, the last topic of this chapter is cost benefit analysis of the AI system. That means, are we able to justify the adoption of these AI systems or not? Like every other technological development, AI has its own limitations and advantages too. So what we should do? We should find way of overcoming these limitations and reduce the danger. So it can be used for the good of mankind or for its destructions too. But the thing is that we, the society, will have to come up with some ethical guidelines on data and AI systems. So, when someone violates these guidelines, rules, or regulations, they have to be punished appropriately. Children, so that's about the ethical concerns of AI. So, you can do some activity in your textbook regarding the ethical and privacy concerns in page number 31. That is, list out all the apps on your phone and identify the privacy concerns associated with each of these apps. Okay, so it is there in the your textbook page number 31, and write no concern if you think that the app does not have any privacy concerns. Children, so in our next class, we can revise some important topics of this chapter. Okay, children? Yes, so that's all for today. Let's see in the next class. Till then, bye.